Hi, Dyan here from Dylusions. We're at Creativation Phoenix, doing just some little videos while it's quiet. And what I want to do is I just want to do a quick, they're all quick videos, aren't they? I want to do a quick painting video. I'm going to be using the new cocktail colours down here. I've brought out 12 colours at CHA, but I want to talk about these 6 here. So these are the cools, and we have lemon drop, we have sour appletini, and we have blue Hawaiian. And then these are the warms. Am I the right way around? Yes, we have strawberry daiquiri. We have, I don't know if I'm right way around, tropical sangria and mango punch. Now, these paints are slightly different to all my other paints. I'm calling them the cocktail range, and it doesn't always show on camera. I'm not sure if it'll show up how, look at them, how bright they are. They're very, I don't want to call them neons, but they've got these very, very bright tendencies. So I'm just going to do a quick page with those. I think I'm going to use the brights, the warms, because I used the cools last time. Now, I'm in my Jumpstart journal, which has the pages on the right-hand side done. So I'm going to do some of the left-hand pages, but I have to turn my book upside down. For some reason, I can't work on this page, so I have to turn my book upside down to do it this way. So we'll find a page. There we go. We'll find a page here. So you need a baby wipe. I'm a big Huggies fan, or you can use Kirkland as well. Okay, so you just form it into a round like so. I'm going to take the paints, and these paints have more resins in than the others, so they give them that, oh, how fun. They give them that translucent property. So I'm just going to put it on there, and then I'm just very quickly, I don't know if you can see, they're a lot more translucent. You can really see through them. I'm never neat, never neat on there. So we've got that. Then I'm going to take my second colour here. I'm just going to squeeze a bit out there. I'm going to take the baby wipe. I'm going to do a cleaner part. This time I'm going to take some, I'm going to tap it off. I'm just going to lightly add some, and then I'm going to blend it in. Don't worry too much. I'm going to lightly add, I'm going to blend it in. I'm just going to lightly add some. I usually always add in 3 different areas. I usually, when I'm stenciling or when I'm adding paint, what I don't want is this. Let me show you. What you shouldn't be doing is this. You know, if you've got that, then your page is going to look really bad. So you just want this gentle, the softness. Can you see? This you can see from heaven. So I've got my second colour there. I'm going to pop that out of the way. And then my third colour, I'm just going to do the edge with, and I just want a light edge really. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the baby wipe, and then I'm just going to run it around the edge. Okay. So we're done. That is the first page. I'm going to come back to it. I'm just going to put a piece of canvas in so I know where it is, because I'm going to go to another page. Now I open up the baby wipe. If you use my normal paints, when I do this, lots of paint comes off. But because of the properties of this, you can see it's very pale. So when you've done that, I pick up the paint from here and I just add more. I'm going to put a thing in, I'm going to find another page until I have no paint left. And these are what I call my accidental pages, because I've accidentally created them. Okay, so I've got 3 pages out of there. I'm just going to wipe my fingers, just wipe that out the way. Then I go back to the first page here, and when you stencil, I'm going to stencil on here, and sometimes I don't stencil at all. Sometimes I use 1 colour, sometimes I use 2. Never use 3. I think there's too much going on. So the first colour was here, and that's another rule. I would never introduce another colour. I only use the colours that are already in the background, okay? So I'm going to just squeeze some of this out a little bit and to get this going. Now, when I see people stenciling, this is what I see. They place the stencil, they'll bang a bit, they'll go round and round, they'll maybe go backwards and forwards, bang a bit more. And it looks beautiful, but that is so bright and in your face, that's no longer a background, that's a foreground. So what I do is I just lightly go in one direction and lift off. That is a background because it's a lot more subtle, okay? So when you do it solid, it looks pretty, but it makes it really difficult to add something onto the top of your design. So always be a little bit light-handed. These paints are great for doing that because you can't really make them too strong. So I'm just going to lightly add in one corner. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more. Can you see how subtle they are, but they're there? Then I'm going to go to my next accidental page, and maybe I'll start in the opposite corner. So maybe I'll start there. I always do 3. I always make a triangle. It's really pleasing to the eye and it's simple to remember. Then I'll go to the last one and I'll add here. I'll add here and I'll add there. Did you see I didn't add any more paint on? Always wipe your stencil. I know a lot of people don't clean stencils, but I'm always doodling with them. I'm always using them with the ink. If you let the paint build up, you're going to lose the shape of the stencil, okay? So back to the first one again, and I'm going to use the second colour. The second colour was the one I did in the 3 corners, so it's the pink. It's the Tropical Sangria. Now, again, when you're doing stenciling, you see that I told you to go into 3 areas, make a triangle. So you automatically think, okay, I've done these 3 areas, I'm going to go in these 3 areas. But if you do, it's no longer a triangle, it's like a bagatelle board and your eye bounces. So what you should try to do is take whichever stencil you're going to have next. I'm going to use Martha's Matte, and you should either slightly overlap or just have it in this area so this stays as one. So we'll lightly add there. Can you see where it's slightly overlapped? I'm going to come here, add that one, and I'm going to come here. And then you've still got these 3 areas. Apparently the triangle is your brain's favourite shape. So you've still got these 3 areas, but you've got the different ones going on. So again, on to the next one. The paler the pages go, the more you'll be able to see this. You might notice as well, I'm stenciling with the same part of the stencil-ish. That means I only have to clean that part of the stencil. I don't put the whole thing down and do this. My paints are so quick drying that if you did that, you would never be able to clean the stencil at all. So can you see you get this lovely sort of shading, this warm look? That's what I like to do. So sometimes I'll do 1 colour, sometimes I'll do 2 colours like today, but I don't think I've ever done 3. You don't need everything going on this page, okay? And again, this is what I would do. I would, once I've got to this stage, I'd maybe do another 3 pages in this colourway, then I'd do some in this, and I'd work through the book till I've got tons done. Then I usually, so I just put my hair up, I usually go back and I add borders. So I'm just going to use my new stitch stencil. Okay, so this is called a Stitch in Time, and we have it in large and we have it in small, and I do a lot of patchwork pages, and this is what I use, but this is also lovely for going round the edges. So if I place it half and half like so, I can make it look as though it's half stitched. So I'm going to take the black, and I did have, oh here we go, I had one from earlier, little bit. Now this paint is my normal quality, so be careful not to put too much on. Because these paints are very translucent, you can't go wrong, but with this one, if you put too much on, you can get into a bit of trouble. So let's go there. So I don't know if you can see, I'm hanging it off the edge, and then this time I am going to go round in a circle because I want this to be quite solid. Okay, so I've got down that side, then I'm going to come down this side here, and then I'm going to do top and bottom. I always do the sides first, and if you notice I always turn the book. I always make it easy for my hand. So I'm going to turn the book, I'm going to come this way, sorry for you seeing it, and then I go turn the book this way. It's much easier than trying to do this. Always make things easy for yourself. And if you notice, I did the 2 sides first, and then I've positioned this in between. Again, clean it straight away. It's very hot under the lights, so I'm actually having to put a baby wipe first, which is something I never do. So I just did a baby wipe first and then wiped it. Normally, kitchen towel will just bring it straight off, but it's because it's so hot. So there you are. There is a page ready to go. Again, when it's totally dry, let me find some I've got some tags here. I'll show. When it's totally dry. Oh, so here we've got, there's another one. You can see that's a smaller one, and I did it in stripes, and I've got the stenciling and I've got the black on. But when it's dry, oh, here's one. Can you see? I would go round with a white pen. My white linen paint pen. I usually do a little circle and then a little line. I just want it to look as though it's blanket stitched round. There's the cross stitch on that one. I'm a border person. I love borders. That's from one of the, that's from the Fancy Floor stencil. Again, more borders, you can see. And also you can see, I'm a doodler, so I love to doodle these. Do you need to doodle all these stencils? No. Do I need to doodle them? Yes. In fact, that one's not, oh, it is doodled. I don't think there'll be many of mine that aren't. That one isn't. You see, so I haven't doodled that, but I'm a big doodler, so I doodle a lot. And these are the same 3 colours here. Now look at the difference, and that's because these have got 2 layers on. So if you want a stronger colour, you can layer my paints up. So these are the same 3 paints, these 3, that I used, but they've got 2 coats. They've got 2 coats on, and then they've got stencil on the top, so you can see the oomph in there. The same with that one. Okay, enjoy.